Happening now, JCC's response to protest calls against a former senator's commencement address, plus the event honoring special education students in Falconer today.
Well, it's another day of copy-paste weather with sunshine and a few clouds, but the weekend, little fly in the ointment. We'll talk about it next as the news at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
SUNY JCC's president says alternative options for students protesting former State Senator Catherine Young's keynote address during today's virtual commencement ceremony have been made. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The compromise from President Dr. Daniel DeMarte came following calls for protest from some members of the LGBTQ+ community at SUNY JCC this week. DeMarte says now, after meeting with the college's newly formed Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Task Force, adjustments have been made to the viewing experience. Dr. Greg Rabb says he's organizing a protest slated for 6 o'clock Friday evening at the flagpole located by the campus pond around the time that the ceremony is scheduled to take place. Rabb, an openly gay faculty member there, says that the decision to host Young is something he's against, adding that Young has voted against the rights of the LGBTQ+ community on at least 2 occasions. Now, the college says because input about hosting Young was not unanimous, and in the spirit of supporting the free exchange of ideas, the remarks will be proceeding as planned. Well, if you've been fully vaccinated, the CDC says you can put away your mask. Well, in some places. Britt Conway rounds up a few FAQs on when and where everyone still needs to mask up.
5 months ago today, the first person outside of a clinical trial got the first dose of a COVID-19 vaccination. Now, more than 118 million people in the U.S. are fully vaccinated. Millions who can take off their masks. Mostly. The CDC says the updated mask guidance is aimed at individuals, pointing to exceptions like federal, state, local, tribal, or territorial laws, rules, and regulations, including local business and workplace guidance. So taking off my mask isn't entirely up to me, right? Some states, like Minnesota and Nevada, just dropped their mask mandates, but Hawaii is keeping its in place. What about travel? The TSA mask mandate is still in place until September 13th, and masks are recommended for all travel. So what if you're vaccinated, but your kids aren't? Dr. Anthony Fauci has that answer.
The children do when they're out there playing with their friends and, particularly in an indoor situation.
What about shopping? Grocery store chains like Kroger have already said they want people to keep their masks on. Other retailers are considering their options. How about restaurants? Again, it depends on where you go. If it all sounds a little tricky, it is.
Since you can't completely validate that someone's vaccinated.
Still, Fauci says it's progress. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. As of now, New York's mask mandate still remains in place. However, state leaders tell us they are looking at the new guidance from the CDC and could update it soon. And speaking of state leaders, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says he's skeptical about implementing a cash incentive to encourage residents to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Cuomo addressed the idea during a press briefing yesterday. He says while some states are offering cash, he's not crazy about the idea.
How about all the people who received the vaccine already? We have 17 million vaccines done. We're 60%. Now you're going to offer someone, some states I believe are offering $100 to take a vaccine. Well, I just took my vaccine. Why didn't I get my $100? Shouldn't you retroactively give everyone money?
Now, Cuomo is also looking at modifying the state's mask mandate to fall in line with that updated guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention out yesterday. Well, special education students at Falconer Central School got the chance to test their skills during the school's Special Olympics this morning. This year's countywide program was once again called off due to the pandemic. However, individual schools like Falconer were able to hold their own celebrations. Led by Masters of Ceremonies and Falconer coach Scotty James, the event kicked off with a parade welcoming the student athletes. Director of Special Education for the district, Julie Wyden, tells us without a program like this, students would not be able to partake in athletics.
So our students, may have physical or mental disabilities that prevent them from competing, like on a track team or things like that. But it's the little accomplishments too that are really huge. Today a lot of our students have been working on riding a bike, which is something that some people take for granted.
In total, 16 student athletes will partake in a variety of Olympic-like events ranging from sporting events to carnival games. Each student competed in 3 pre-selected events. At the end of the competition, they were recognized, part of an award ceremony. Wyden is thankful the community came together to support their event this year, with several groups like the Falconer Kiwanis Club, Falconer Fire Department, and Town of Ellicott Police helping out. She also thanks the school's faculty, staff, and student council, along with their marching band, who was present today. Certainly, it looks like a lot of fun there in Falconer. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. We always love to hear from you. It's great to see Ryan. Good to see Wendy. Happy Friday to you. Thanks so much for tuning in every day. We appreciate it. Great to see Lisa, Bill, Tammy, and Sarah as well. Good afternoon to all of you. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter live in studio with that. Dakota, the sunshine, it looks aplenty out there today.
Yes, it is. The sunshine once again is very plentiful out there once again today. It's going to be a near repeat of the past couple of days. So if you like the weather the past couple of days, you'll like today. Lots of sunshine at Finley Lake right now, 61 degrees, much warmer today than it has been the past couple of days. Once again, we're starting to see the development of fair weather cumulus clouds from north to south. Once again today, it's the same pattern that we've seen over the past couple of days. So it's basically one of those cases of what you see is what you get through today, and that's pretty much going to continue through the weekend. But there is a little thing in the weekend that we'll talk about a little bit later on. 61 was the high yesterday. 38 is where we started the day this morning. Both the high and the lows are 1 degree from each other from what we had forecasted. So that was a pretty good forecast yesterday. 88 and 26 are the record highs and lows set at the Jamestown airport. So through the afternoon, more sunshine, more just fair weather clouds, a bit milder than it has been. 61 at the immediate Lake Erie water to going to 68, while inland the water stays cooler because of this northwest wind, averaging about 6 to 12 miles per hour. Now, there is a small, quote, small chance of a rain shower over the weekend. We'll talk about it in full detail with that 7-day forecast later in the show. Justin?
All right, well, I know you will keep us in the know, Dakota. Thank you. Identity theft complaints nearly doubled over the past year here in New York. That's according to a new report out by the state's comptroller. Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli's office says the sharp increase is likely connected to the uptick in people filing for unemployment insurance and more folks shopping online. His report found 67,000 complaints were filed statewide last year, an 85% rise from 2019 and 4 times the total annual amount from a decade ago. The report also says that the credit card fraud was the most common type of theft reported to regulators at the Federal Trade Commission, with nearly 25,000 people in New York reporting misused information. More than 3,600 identity theft reports related to the pandemic were reported. In total, 2/3 of those complaints were related to the unemployment benefits or other government programs. He says it's not clear what sort of impact this might have on economic losses. However, in 2018, as the nation as a whole had about $15.1 billion lost in identity theft. Well, more than a dozen states are now getting rid of pandemic-related unemployment benefits, but New York's not quite there yet. That will affect more than 1.2 million people nationwide getting $300 every week. Montana last week is the first to announce it was pulling out of the federal program, citing severe worker shortages. Georgia is the latest state to do away with the benefit. Thursday, Governor Brian Kemp announced that the state would stop the payment in June. Other states doing likewise include Tennessee, Utah, and Missouri. Now, this week, President Joe Biden warned that people who can work must accept job offers or lose their benefits. Next, here's some good news for water customers in Chautauqua County. And later we go live to the County Humane Society for our Pet of the Week segment. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues on this sunny Friday afternoon.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
The George Barone Jr. Scholarship Fund is hosting its first annual Rummage and Bag Sale fundraiser. An inductee in the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, Barone managed, coached, and assisted in youth baseball for 64 years in and around the Jamestown area. 100% of proceeds generated will be donated, which will provide scholarships to graduating Southwestern Central School seniors who partake in athletics. Learn more by checking out the scholarship on Facebook and joining us for the fundraising event.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Honest John's has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A 29-year-old wanted in connection with crimes in Pennsylvania is behind bars after county sheriff's deputies stopped him riding an all-terrain vehicle allegedly impaired this week. Chautauqua County Sheriff's deputies say that Jordan Pound was pulled over last night on Route 430 in the town of Chautauqua. Now, through investigation, it is alleged that Pound was impaired by drugs. Furthermore, deputies report he had an outstanding arrest warrant out of Meadville, Pennsylvania. After processing, Pound was held at Chautauqua County's jail as a fugitive from justice. He's scheduled to appear in the town of Chautauqua court at a later date to answer the charges of driving while ability impaired by drugs, among others. Well, the water pump replacement to the village of Mayville this week is deemed a success. The Chautauqua County Department of Health has lifted the boil water and water conservation orders there. The orders have been in place since this Tuesday and last Thursday, respectively. Water samples collected show the water is safe to drink, and officials say it can be used for all other purposes too. These orders were needed so the village could install a permanent water pump. Now, the pump replaces a temporary one that was installed back in December during the previous water emergency where perfluoronic acid was detected in the pipes. Well, relief is in sight across the southeast for those dealing with major gas shortages there. The Colonial pipeline back online after a 6-day shutdown caused by some ransomware attacks. But as Isabel Rosales reports, it will still be a few days until the gas supply gets back to normal.
The more than 5,500-mile Colonial pipeline, supplying nearly half of all fuel to the East Coast, now back online.
Fuel is beginning to flow.
President Joe Biden praising progress made in getting the pipeline restarted following a ransomware cyber attack. But gas shortages and ultra-long lines at the pump not over yet.
But I want to be clear, we'll not feel the effects at the pump immediately. This is not like flicking on a light switch.
Officials warning it will take a few more days for service to return to normal.
Product is moving, but it moves slowly, about 5 miles an hour in some cases.
A ripple effect seen along the East Coast and throughout the Southeast. Some drivers still facing major gas outages Thursday. Officials blaming public panic.
Just be patient and wait because panic buying can worsen shortages.
In North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia, more than half of gas stations are without fuel. If drivers are lucky enough to find any.
I only pumped 24 cents before the thing shut off.
6 gallons of gas for $35, that's absolutely ridiculous.
AAA reporting the national average for a gallon of gas jumping to $3, the highest since 2014. And gas experts believe by busy Memorial Day weekend, the gas headache will be mostly over. In Washington, I'm Isabel Rosales.
Isabel, thank you. Federal and state authorities have relaxed some regulations which should help get fuel to gas stations more quickly. It also should help ease prices. So far, there have been more than 1,200 complaints of price gouging in places like Georgia and the Carolinas. Well, if you've ever attended a wedding, birthday party, or maybe middle school dance, you've heard it, the chicken dance. And today is a day to flap your wings on National Chicken Dance Day. The song was written in the 1950s by a Swiss accordionist, but didn't become popular here in the States until about the 70s. The world's record for the longest chicken dance happened in North Dakota back in 2010. It covered 24 city blocks and was more than 1.6 miles long. So shake your tail feather and post your best chicken dance to social media using the hashtag #DanceLikeAChickenDay. Well, we know this dance all too well, don't we, Dakota? Do you remember a couple years ago for your birthday, we put together like almost, it was kind of like a concoction of ambush sound bites that we played during your weather segment. You remember that?
Yes.
Well, for those who don't, take a look.
There's a dew point, 50 degrees, so the dew point is rather dry. Oh, Jesus.
I don't do the funky chicken, so there you go.
Look at the go.
Okay.
Oh boy, you loved that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You got it though. You got the
There
moves. You know. It was just, oh gosh, there was a Golden Girls one. That was good. I thought I'd give kudos to our production staff for putting that together. Really, kind of getting you and surprising you. You had no idea it was coming. So, good to see Linda.
Nope.
Good to see Carolyn and.
I was
Lisa
on the
as
wall expecting to see my weather computer, and then all of a sudden I see other stuff.
Well,
so
it happens.
Yeah.
Should we do that to you today?
No.
I don't know if we have that loaded in. We did find the clip though, so if you want to watch the whole clip.
We have stuff because we have special graphics that we put into the show today, and the old grumpy weatherman will not be happy if they say in my ear, speed it up, speed it up, speed it up, and you get to miss all the fun graphics.
I'm going to put that out on the Twitter. It's on our YouTube page if you want to watch the whole concoction of you getting ambushed for your birthday.
Well, you see, Andrew's birthday is coming up in a couple of months, and we were joking in the weather office today that, Andrew needs to be pranked because he hasn't been pranked on his birthday yet. So
let's see what we can do.
We'll work on something. Speaking of working, let's take a look at the temperatures over the past 7 days, and it's been up, down, up, down, up, down. We've had temperatures in the 40s, and then as we started to creep into this week, temperatures have been going up into the 50s. And look at yesterday, 61 degrees. That was 1 degree shy of the forecast high, which was 62. So he did very well on that forecast yesterday. And here comes another big warm up here. Look at this as we go into the weekend. The weekend, nice, upper 60s. And by the time we head into early next week, yeah, we're going 71 on Tuesday. So it's going to feel nice next week, but the humidity will stay low. That's the good news. So it's not going to feel that stickum in the air once again. 59 as a noon hour right now. Northwest wind of 14, got a wind gust of 19. And all in all, it's pretty nice out there with some of those high weather, fair weather cumulus clouds dotting the sky, so not a big deal. But over the weekend, we have a shot of seeing the ISS once again in the sky. Saturday at 10:14 at night, the ISS is going to be flying west-southwest to northeast. That's going to be the direction in the sky, and the ISS will be visible for about 6 minutes. So when you see that light in the sky that goes from west-southwest to northeast, that'll be the International Space Station. And if you can get a picture of that over the weekend, please do send it to us because we love photos like that. Hunters WX on Twitter and the First Defense weather page on Facebook. There you see some of those cumulus clouds building across the southern tier on the satellite imagery. And again, these are building north to south, same thing that we've had over the past couple of days. And the culprit of that has to do with a northwest wind coming from high pressure that's over the Great Lakes right now. But because we have that northwest wind, that is starting to bring in some of those cloud covers. So Future Scan shows you that. Now, it does try to paint a couple isolated showers well off to our east this afternoon. I wouldn't necessarily rule those out, but the chance of that's relatively small, so I didn't even put it in the forecast because the chance is relatively small. Tonight, mainly clear, just a few passing clouds from time to time. Otherwise, another mainly clear and dry night. Now, tomorrow, as we get into the afternoon, notice again, couple pop-up showers popping up here. And again, they're spotty in nature, so we're going 25% chance of an isolated shower both tomorrow and Sunday, but neither day is a washout, and both days will be nice and dry. And part of the thing is, when we have a northwest wind, the Lake Erie shoreline stays cooler because look at the Lake Erie water temperature at 50 degrees. So that northwest wind comes directly across the lake, pushes near the Lake Erie shoreline. So the shoreline communities stay cooler. Once you work away from that lake wind, you warm up. And that is shown here in the zone forecast. The cooler spot today is right near the Lake Erie shoreline where you'll be right around the 60-degree mark for both Harbor Creek, Ripley, Westfield, and Dunkirk. But inland areas, we will have a shot of spiking up to almost near 70 in some spots of the inland, especially in Warren County near Tidiu. How about the future? Next 7 days right now, 68 tomorrow, 67 on Sunday. Both days, just a small chance for that spotty shower. And then the next week, a better chance for at least a couple showers Monday, but should be mainly dry. And look at the temperatures go up into the 70s, and the sun returns through the late next week. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights. Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger.
This danger is real.
Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind, to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the southern tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
but 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. In an effort to help our furry friends find a forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society and our Pet of the Week segment. Joining us live is Amanda Sublett to talk more about this week's featured furry friend. Happy Friday, Amanda. I see he's front and center today.
He is. This is Kenai. Say hi, bud. Kenai's about 2 years old, mixed breed. He's incredibly large, about 80 pounds, you can tell. But he is the biggest lap puppy you're ever going to meet. He loves to cuddle, loves to play. He's got quite a bit of energy, but he's also going to relax a little bit in the home with somebody who can give him the exercise that he needs. Come here, Kenai. Come here, Kenai. Come here. Good boy. There you go. There you go. Good lap puppy. He could potentially go well with cats if the cat is familiar with dogs. We want somebody who's not going to be terrified of him because he is a big boy. But he's going to be doing real well with everybody.
Wow, that's great to hear. And he's got quite the unique name as well, Keen Eye. Is there anywhere that came from, or did he come with that name?
Have you seen Brother Bear, the movie? It's a Disney movie. And the main character is a native Indian and then turns into a bear, and his name is Kenai.
Oh, wow. So he's... Wow, that's awesome. And it looks like, you know, he's definitely got the stature of a bear, that's for sure. But a lot of times you can find great dogs that turn out to be gentle giants. I imagine he likes to be outside, just like today you guys are at the Bark Park. But how is he around others, maybe smaller kids? Does he seem to be doing pretty well?
The only thing we have to worry about is he's going to accidentally knock them over just because he's so big. But as long as they don't mind, they're going to get along real well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like he's ready to give the love, too. So certainly, if you want to learn more about our friend Keen Eye here, you can simply contact the Chautauqua County Humane Society. You can visit their website at chqhumane.org to learn more about him. And it looks like he's ready to enjoy the beautiful weather out there. I know that a lot of people maybe know that the Humane Society, you guys actually try every animal to get them outside during the spring and summer to really engage, and you use a lot of volunteers to do that. Now that we're moving in the right direction, Amanda, do you know if you guys are going to be having volunteers come back soon?
Not yet, unfortunately. We are hoping to, but right now we do have to keep it limited with COVID.
Right, absolutely. And I imagine that as things move forward, you'll probably update that and let the people know, because in the end, the donations, the time from people, is that really what helps you guys keep going, and especially, you know, dogs like our friend here to have time to get outside and enjoy the weather like today?
All that really makes a difference for them. Everybody gets to be outside. Everyone needs their own time to relax and run around, and it's de-stressing for them.
Yeah, and he certainly looks like he's enjoying it today. That is for sure. All right, Amanda and Keen9, thank you both so much for joining us today. Again, chqhumane.org is the place to go to learn more about all of the furry friends that we've featured. There's great interactive website there where you can check out and see good photos, read about the dogs, and cats too. So don't want to forget about them. All right, well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. It's free to download. Just search WNY News Now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We're back on Monday. Hope to see you then.